Hello and welcome to Good, Better, Behtareen. Today's episode is a really special one as it's the first in a series of interviews where I'll bring you real people with real stories. We tend to applaud and celebrate social and political icons, celebrities, and famous people. But you know what's even more special? Our real life heroes and heroines who are coping and managing and struggling and juggling so much for much higher and nobler motives for their children, for their parents, for their families. And today, I'm very lucky to have on my show a very dear friend, a makeup artist, beauty professional, suburban mom, and mother of three beautiful children who is managing to juggle life, work, and family in a very commendable manner. Please welcome Miss Aisha Azeem. Aisha, hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fazia. Thank you so much.
Aisha, I could go on and on to talk about how well you are managing everything, but we all would like to hear it from you. So please tell us about your journey of becoming a beauty professional right from the word go.
Alrighty. So, to start with, Fazia, when I moved to Australia about 7 years ago, and not having any family here kind of was very hard initially. And I was also expecting my third one. I had like two toddlers to look after, and then without any support. That was when I started playing around with makeup. It was more of something to just divert me. But then it turned out that I was really, really enjoying doing it. And I started I started taking it more seriously. And then that was it. That was kind of a career change for me. And ever since then, I've never looked back, never regretted what I have done. And yeah, this from there, it was the start of a new phase for me that I'm really, really passionate about.
All right. Asha, how did you manage to balance raising the kids when they were, during their early childhood? And how did you manage to balance everything without neglecting any area?
Um, Firstly, it's very hard to say the least, but there's nothing that you can't really do if you set your mind to it. I've always told myself that I wanted to have something for myself, something that I enjoy. Of course, kids are the most important part of my life, and they will always be that. But I also have always believed that we as women, we tend to neglect ourselves, especially after having a family of our own, especially after having kids. We feel like we're done for the responsibilities and done for ourselves, but that's not true. You need to have something that you enjoy and that you connect with, so you have like a something to look forward to, something that excites you. Otherwise, when kids grow up and when you don't have something, you feel very bored. You feel like there's no purpose in life, and that was one thing that I knew that I have to do, and I have to try, no matter what problems I had to face. I was like always telling myself, always pushing through in my head that no, this is one day there will be a time when I'll have more time on me. And now that my kids are grown, like in school, I literally have so much time to give myself and just to play around with makeup and do makeup and take it as a profession now. So I'm much more serious, much more able to manage it better now when the kids are a bit um, independent. But yeah, it was hard in the beginning. But then again, we can literally, we are superheroes. We can do anything and everything we set our minds to.
Wow, Aisha, that should be our mantra for all the women that if they just put their
Absolutely
mind to it and then they put their heart and soul into it, they can accomplish so much. Aisha,
true.
you've told us what you did, but now can we delve a little into how you did it? How did you prepare and study for it, and how did you manage the children's early childhood as well as your professional career?
It's a bit of a tricky thing to do, especially in Western countries where we barely have any help. I was so the funny part of weddings and the beauty industry here is that there is a very early start of the day. So I remember there was this particular time where I had to start at 3:30 at night for a wedding that we were supposed to finish at 9, and we had about 8 people. So I was doing makeup, and I was assisting someone in my early days. So I literally, so 3:30 start means you have to be there at around 3:15 to set up, which means you have to uh, like get up at around 2 o'clock, which means you don't get to have any sleep in short. But it was all worth it. It was because this was something that I was passionate about. I think I took everything as a challenge and just went for it. And it's easier said than done when you're in that situation. Your mind is all over the place, and you're like, how will I do this or how will I do that? But it was like my husband has been my biggest support, and he was like, just go, don't worry about the kids. And his support meant the world to me, because without his support I wouldn't be where I am today. And he was like continuously helping me find help for my kids, and we did find good people. Of course there are experiences, but at the end we had a lady who was looking after our kids for the time being when I was away and my husband wasn't there. And yeah, it's like it's manageable if you want to do it. If you want to get it done, it's manageable. If you have excuses or reasons, there won't be ever enough. You just have to do it, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Where there's a will, there's a way. So if we want
Absolutely.
to do something, we figure out all the ways of how to get there.
Yeah, true. And I think when you really want to do something, even even they say that when you set your mind to it, the universe conspires to get it done for you. Trust me, it actually happens. If you want to do something, the only thing that is stopping you is yourself. So you just have to tell yourself that I won't let anything stop myself, and things will turn out in your favor. So just, I think, keep pushing through, no matter the challenges. You just keep going through.
This overwhelming feeling that there are so many obstacles, but our passion, if our passion is greater than the obstacles, we somehow overcome them. We just have to
Absolutely
believe in
true.
ourselves. And yes, we just spoke, I think you and I, we attended a workshop recently where we spoke about resilience.
Yeah,
So small falls and small hiccups, we need to bounce back from them. Instead of relying on others to keep us motivated, we have to give ourselves a pep talk every now and then to keep our motivation sustained.
absolutely.
What are some things that you would like to share with your friends and all the women who are watching and listening to you?
Because I specialize in makeup. There's one thing that I feel a lot of women kind of neglect a lot, and that is skin. So I always emphasize on taking care of your skin. Just start with something that's basic, but stick to a routine for your skin, just like you would for. I feel like if women were told that if they look after their skin, it will reward their kids, they would start doing that as well. They would do anything for the kids. So if I personally feel like if they were told that way, they might actually take it seriously. Further, I personally feel like a lot of the women, they do not follow or have a proper skincare regimen, which is so important because I specialize in makeup, and being a makeup artist, this is one thing that we cannot change. This is, I can make your eyes, if your eyes are small, I can make them look bigger. I can give that illusion, but there's not much I can do when it comes to skin, and that's the area that I would like women to be more focused on. Like, skincare is not a part of our routine, whereas it should be, because if your skin is good, you won't need makeup first off, and you will stay youthful for a longer period of time. Who wouldn't want to look beautiful and just being more comfortable in your skin?
Of
So
course.
a lot of the women, I feel like, neglect having a proper skincare regimen, which is not like you don't have to buy products for thousands of dollars, or you do not have to spend money, or just stick to the basic skincare routine, which is adding SPF in the morning, moisturizing, cleansing, and just taking care, drinking enough water, taking care of their diets. There's so much they can do without having to use anything. If they're looking after themselves, they'll be able to look after their families better, themselves better. So that is one area that I feel like women kind of neglect, especially after having kids. They just feel like they're done, and they don't have any responsibility towards their bodies, which is I feel very sad about. But I would love for women to have like a proper care for themselves, so they feel good, so they can, that when you're feeling good inside, it shows outside. You can show that love and that care to your family members when you're feeling good, and you're looking your best. It just reflects on all areas of life. So it's very important for women to actually have a skincare routine. I feel like a lot of women just neglect themselves.
All right, and you are saying that that is most basic to any beauty treatment or beauty enhancements. First of all, that we should have a routine in place to care for our skin
Absolutely.
and regularity, not just
Yeah.
doing it once and then neglecting it for a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
something, it's like a commitment, just like your marriage. Do it considering a part of your marriage, so you stick to it.
Yes. And you should, because whatever is done with consistency shows results.
Absolutely. It's like women have to be really, really consistent with so many things. And it's not something which, like, a lot of my clients, they complain that it takes so much time. I feel like when you're not sure of what you're doing, it will take time. But if you just stick to something basic as cleansing your face in the morning, putting SPF and moisturizing, and doing the same, like cleansing and moisturizing your face at night, you don't need much. And you're like looking after diet is something that's not even part of your skincare. It's more part of your body needs it. Add zinc in your diet if you suffer from pigmentation. Add multivitamins. There's so much you can do, and there's so much available nowadays. Like there was this one time when women literally had to research everything, but if nowadays everything is on your fingertips. You just type, and the thing, like there are so much options you can choose from just to get that research done. So I feel like there's so much available, so much material on what works for what skin types. Google it, learn, like you watch YouTube tutorials, and you'll be able to find so much, and you'll be able to apply it on. But just like take that habit of looking after your skin and looking after yourselves before anyone else. Like prioritize yourself.
Definitely. Definitely. Point to note, and I'm sure everyone watching is paying attention to that. Prioritizing ourselves, putting ourselves a little higher on the pedestal, and also not thinking that self neglect and sacrificing our care is a way of loving others. We can love and support our near and dear ones, but also give time to ourselves.
Or even if it's not even being selfish, it's something that you're doing for your body, and it's a requirement. You have to do it, and you just have to do it for yourself. So it's not being selfish at all if you're giving time to yourself. If you're even if you're just spending time away from the kids for a while to look after yourselves, that is you doing something for your body. That's your responsibility to take it like that. And it won't feel like a chore to you that, oh, I have to do this. You'll feel like it will become a part of your routine once you just kind of play around with it in your mind that really need to do it for myself.
Yeah, because you mentioned prioritizing ourselves and that you are pointing out that self-care is not selfish at all. Aisha,
Yeah.
how do you manage to stay positive? How do you take care of your mental and emotional health?
Again, Fozia, it comes down to you really need to know what you enjoy doing. So you have time to reflect on yourself. One thing that I faced a lot while, especially after I got married, that if I had problems with something, if I was not feeling myself, if I wasn't feeling very nice about myself, and we do get those insecurities here and there. I was told that I was being ungrateful, and I kind of started believing it. But as time progressed, as I progressed, I would like to say, I felt like there are so much, like when you become a mother, there is so much change, a big, like no bigger change than what your body goes through. And just having that, I felt like women were literally bringing each other down. Like I don't know how to even explain it, but it was mainly someone closer to you would say something that would upset you for days. And I started, especially when I moved here, I was by myself. I felt like I was self-reflecting all the time, and I was thinking what I could have done better, or then I started thinking that if I just think about what happened and don't focus on what will happen or what might happen, I will just be a sad person all my life. And that self reflection was so important for me because it made me realize to be more thankful and just help other women grow. There are so many women that would tell you, you don't have this right, you do not have that right. I don't want to be that person. I want to be someone who lifts other people, especially women, because we don't have a lot of people that do that for us. Everybody just wants to bring us down, and you don't clean the house, you don't look after the kids. Kids could have, you could have raised them better, they could have done that better, you could have done that. Like, there is so much criticism, and we being women, we are the biggest critics, we are our biggest critics. So it is so important to self reflect and tell yourself that you're doing the best job. Nobody can be you, so that's your superpower, and use that in your favor. And always remember that it's what you give is what you receive. So if you're giving the goodness and the positivity, you're gonna get that, and it will show. It will, like, I don't even, maybe because I've worked with so many women, and I've been, when you're doing makeup and you're talking to someone, you're being their psychologist, you're being their shoulder to cry on. So I felt women needed that, and it's something that they cannot share with their families because they feel they'll be judged. And sometimes even our friends end up judging us without even like we without us even realizing it. So for other women and for yourself, it is so important to be positive. It is so important to lift each other, and to know, you just hold their back and tell them that if something goes wrong, I'm here for you. It's not just the words, it's through your actions as well. If I make friends, I go out of my way to be their friend, not just because um, I don't have my family here, or I don't have, no, it's not like that. I just want to be, I want to be that, um, I don't know, but I just want to be uplifting for everyone. And I feel like we women need to do it more than anyone, because we all go through, I understand the pain you might be going through, or you will understand me. So nobody would do that. We are women, and that is our biggest power. This is the best gift. Being women, it's not easy. And just radiate energy, and that positivity will come back to you.
Aisha, I mean, so many of us listening would say that that's so relatable that we women especially, we feel examined and judged all the time. And at the
Mm.
back of our mind, our inner voice, the one that's constantly talking to us, even
Yeah,
that starts talking down to us. And we
yeah, true.
always feel that we are falling short of someone else's expectations. We are not doing good enough in that area. And all this
Mm.
pressure, it kind of cripples our motivation.
Absolutely,
And
so
yes,
true.
if we would just say, I'm going to think positively about myself and I'm going to be there for the others out there. So
Mm.
when we are lifting them up and building them up, we are getting lifted in return. That's karma.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
true,
yeah.
absolutely. It comes back to you. Whatever you do comes back to you.
Yes.
So this is life. If you give positivity, it will come back to you. And it doesn't, it's going to come in so many other ways. It could be you getting something that you really, really wanted, or
Exactly.
you just having that feeling. I feel like just that feeling of just being happy, just being yourself makes you happy. I
Yes.
feel like this is the biggest gift I can ever receive. Like, this is my achievement, honestly. I feel comfortable being me, and I know there is no other Aisha, and there will never be. It's just my power, and I am going to this feeling in itself is complete. I
If we train our mind and if we train ourselves to think along that route, it
becomes a pattern. It's like if you're training your mind, like you said, it will be something that you'll start believing. Your heart, your mind, and that inner voice that we call it will start, and you will start to see so much positivity around you just in your personality. So it's still like a little thing, but it will make a huge impact, and we won't even know what it does to us unless we are there, and unless we realize it.
Aisha, what kind of a mother are you and what are your mothering strategies?
I think you should ask this question to my kids, and you'll get a better idea.
They have volumes of data.
Yeah. But so for me, there's always a good cop and a bad cop. So I am the bad cop, and I have no shame to admit this. But my husband is the more gentle being in the house, and he's someone who's got this side of him where he would never say anything to the kids. So I feel like in a balanced house, you need to raise kids, giving them that balance. It is so important for them to know if they're going to be a consequence for something that's not correct. If they won't make the right choice, they will have consequences for that. And this is our way. If I and It's so important. Me and my husband, I feel like we have always been on the same page. If I disagree and if I don't allow something, my husband will never ever agree to it. And this is what my kids have been trained with. If they ask me and they get a no, they know that there's no way their dad would say yes to it. So balance and keeping the kids like disciplined in that way is very important. I would always want them to be more respectful, resilient, and just believe in themselves and believe that they can do it. And I've always told them, I've always uh, been very appreciative of the fact that they are becoming those kind of human beings. And just little things, I want them to worry about the little things. Rest would be is like it is already written for them. But things like making the right choice, if they are going if they see something on the floor, I would want them to pick it up and make it clear for someone else to come. So I focus on things that are in my control rather than worrying about what will happen in the future or how will they shape up. Because if I'm not focused on little things, I know the bigger picture wouldn't be what I want to watch. So it's like this is what me and my husband, we've always told ourselves that we just need to be in the moment for them and raise them that way, and being more respectful. You lead by example. So if you're showing them the example of being resilient, if you're doubting your decisions, if you're doubting yourselves, the kids will learn through you and they will watch you and just do it. Sometimes we don't even have to tell them, they're doing what we are showing them. So just be the better example for them, and they will shape into that. They will bring themselves into that human being that they're if they're like, I've got three boys, so my husband is the example for them. And I can't say there would be any better example for them to follow, because he is very gentle and he's very caring and he's very supportive as a husband, as a father. And you can see that it is reflecting on my kids already.
Aisha, you have told us what to do as a parent. You have told us that non-verbal communication and teaching through inspiration, teaching by example,
Absolutely.
goes much more deeper than just our continuous verbal uh, instructions and
Hmm.
lectures. The lecture method works only to an extent, but we are continuously a walking example and role model, and children learn more through inspiration than instruction.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I think it is an ageless strategy because the best role models are those who teach by example.
And you know
Uh,
what, Fozia, there are no kids are not custom made. There is with parenting. I always tell because I feel like a lot of women, like I said earlier, they get judged for the way they're raising their kids.
Aisha, thank you very much for sharing so much wonderful and sound advice for all of us in your role as a working mom, in your profession in the beauty industry, and so many things you've told us in how you cope and manage with life's daily challenges. Now, before we say thank you, just one last question to leave us with food for thought. Aisha, as a woman, as an individual, and as a woman especially, how do you empower yourself? And what would you like to share with all the fellow females out there?
So, firstly, Fozia, thank you for celebrating me. And secondly, I would just want all women. Um, I would love to see a time where women are, celebrating each other, just like you are celebrating me and other women. This is so special. And even if you don't get chances, please tell yourself that there is good in everything. And just empower each other, be there for each other without having those judgments, without having those cultural tags for each other. Just be there for each other. We need that kind of support. And no matter what platform you're on, if you're someone who is providing that support, you're making a huge difference in someone's life. Just word, a kind gesture, it means the world to people. Just be there. And as I feel like as mother, as daughters, there's so many roles we're playing. Just keep telling yourself that I am enough, and you don't need anyone to complete you. You just need yourself, and that's about it. So that's my message to all mothers out there. Especially, raise your kids in a way that you want to raise them, how you would want your daughter to marry a man, and raise them in a way that they are doing something productive for the society. Raise them impactful, they're impacting the society, and good human beings and good Muslims and everything kind of, and you're leading by example, and just show them that they have to be there, no matter daughters, sons. Just show them how to be a better human being in the society, which needs kindness, which needs better people, which needs more resilient people to be a part of it.
Thank you very much, Aisha. And friends, like Aisha has said, that the world needs ethical beings. So, as women, and if you are taking care of your children, I know that you are preparing them for their careers and their professions and their industry, but please make sure that you are teaching them how to be ethical human beings, resilient human beings, and generally people who build others up rather than pull them down, and who are positive beings and impact and leave positive footprints behind. Aisha, thank you very much for your valuable time, and we hope
Thank
to
you.
connect again with you soon.
Inshallah. Thank you, Fazia. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, take care and more power to you. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.